Fred VanVleet gets a $130 million deal over 3 from the Houston Rockets. Man, what in the GTA heist is this? All I have to say is shout out to that young man. I gotta clap it up. Shout out to him and his representation. Off a down year, in my opinion. And mind you, Fred VanVleet has not been the epitome of efficiency in his career from the field. Now, from 3, he's been a remarkable 3-point shooter at times. But last season, 39% from the field, 34% from 3, but he did average 20 points. He also was close to leading the league in steals. Average wise, I think he was 1.8 to 2 over the season, which is good. He's actually been a pretty good defender at his position for most of his career. I got to give him that. He's been averaging a lot. I also believe that he was pretty high ranked on deflections, if I'm not mistaken, as well. All that to say, there is some good, there is some bad, but I gotta say this: Fred VanVleet, as good as he's been, has never been, in my opinion, looked at as a $43 million a year player, which is ultimately what this contract marks up as. Now, even if it doesn't break down evenly like that, you have to sit there and understand that it is 130 over 3, even if it's low starting off. There's a massive hike in what they have to pay that man. And some of the numbers I've seen other people be willing to pay Fred VanVleet were, sheesh. So listen, at this point, Fred VanVleet is going to be on the Houston Rockets. That was something that was reported as rumored. And you know what? It's finally happened. Now, frankly, I don't see anybody else giving them that money. Obviously Toronto wasn't going to get anywhere close. And if you're a Toronto Raptor fan, this is something you look at and you say, hey, listen, you tip your cap to them and you say, hey, thank you for your services, because guess what? You weren't going to get 130 over 3 here. In fact, your jury has already replaced him, and that's going to be in a different video as well, has already replaced him with Dennis Schroeder, who they signed for 2 years, $26 million. A steep difference from what they got from Fred VanVleet. Now, mind you, for those who are really big on Fred, and I'm not saying Fred is a bad player. I don't want to give that impression. But I should have looked this up initially. But looking this up right now, Dennis Schroeder, who is roughly the same age, 29, averaged at 1 point. Last season, he averaged 12 points a game, and he was 41% from the field, 32% from 3, and neither one of them are the hallmark of efficiency when it comes to that. But when it comes down to 3-point shooting, Schroeder has had some up and down seasons, but at his peak, I would say he was 18 points a game, at 18 to 19 points a game, at nearly 38% from 3 and 47% from the field, something that Fred VanVleet has not done in his career as shooting that level of efficiency. With that being said, shout out to him. Shout out to them. What the Houston Rockets are doing, why they're doing it, I have no idea. But one thing I will say for those who are big on the Houston Rockets making some big splash, it's kind of hard to get a max player when you can't. Kind of hard to trade for a max player when you don't have one. I absolutely feel like this is a overpay in the sense of a contract that gets moved for somebody else, because I do not see how that works. I do not see why they would do it. It don't make sense. But I want to hear your thoughts, man. Do you feel like the Houston Rockets got fleeced? Do you think that this is a overpay to get into something else? How do you feel about it? I kind of look at this like the MPJ Michael Porter Jr. deal, in which they maxed him out. Was it something to the tune of 200 something million? And everybody was like, yeah, he has great potential, but good Lord, he's not worth that money. I kind of feel like this is one of those things where maybe they have an inkling that they're going to be able to use him as trade bait for something else down the line, maybe even by mid-season. And if that's possible, and this is one of those things you set yourself up for, because again, you got to have a max player to kind of trade for one. So if they're looking to get any veteran there, i.e. like a James Harden there, you kind of have to kind of do something to make that work. But again, I want to hear your thoughts. Jesus, I want to hear your thoughts. Whether it's love, whether it's hate, put it in the chat. I just want to say, shout out to his representation. If I could be a fly on the wall when that contract was signed, I mean, good Lord, Oh, Jesus. But hey, again, be on the news, man. Off season is kicked off and it has been wild already. Till next time. Peace.